Ladies and gentlemen, some of the participants in the COVID-19 vaccine are speaking about their experience, and it sounds very similar to what we heard with Pfizer's vaccine. So, this came out on NPR November 20th, 2020. What it was like to participate in the clinical trial for Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. After hearing this, who the hell would want this vaccine for real? I'm going to go ahead and play this audio for you.
It has been a great week for vaccine headlines, with both Pfizer and Moderna reporting promising results from their coronavirus trials. Behind those headlines are all the people volunteering to serve as human lab mice in those trials. One of them is patient 232, the 232nd person to get either placebo shots or the real deal experimental vaccine from the George Washington University trial. Well, patient 232 joins me now. He is otherwise known as John Yang, and he's a journalist, a correspondent for PBS's NewsHour, who wrote about his experience for STAT. John Yang, welcome.
Thank you, Mary Louise.
As you wrote, you are at high risk for contracting, if you were to get it, a severe case of COVID-19.
I am. I'm older. I'm of a certain age, shall we say. I'm over 60. I've got asthma. I have high blood pressure, and I'm Asian. I had actually read a study earlier that Asians are more likely are more likely to have a bad outcome if they are hospitalized with COVID, which certainly got my attention.
And none of that ruled you out. They didn't care.
In a way, I think that they wanted it. I think my ethnicity was a big plus, because they really do want to test, widen these tests to have participants of color. And also they wanted to find out if it was safe for people with asthma and people with high blood pressure.
All right. So walk us through the steps. You completed an online application in July. You had to list your medical history and all of that. And then what happened? You get a call?
I got a phone call, and they tell me they're calling from the George Washington COVID vaccine trial. And I actually thought that there would be more screening steps. I thought I'd have to answer more questions and maybe even come in for a physical exam before they said, okay, you're in. Then later in the same visit, they gave me my first shot.
Wow. Did you have side effects?
Well, there were two shots. To the first shot, it really wasn't that bad. It was sort of like a mild case of the flu. I had every muscle and joint in my body ached. I had a fever. I went to bed. I slept about 10 hours. But as that came on faster, it also resolved faster. By the next day, by Wednesday, I got the shot on Tuesday. By Thursday, I was fine. The second shot really laid me low, and very quickly.
And I gather, in a way, you were actually quite happy to be feeling lousy, because in your mind, this suggested that maybe you'd gotten the real vaccine and not a placebo?
Exactly. The first day, I was a little disappointed when I went to bed that I was still feeling okay, and woke up the next morning happy to be feeling bad, like a kid hoping to get out of school. I was happy to feel that onset of the side effects.
One thing that they told you that struck me was they instructed you have to carry on with your usual schedule. You can't just stay home and totally self-isolate. You got to walk the dog. You got to go for your run. Why?
It's funny. It was something that made complete sense once he said it, but I had never thought of it before. The doctor who was the head of the study said that if everyone stays at home and never goes out and doesn't get sick, if no one gets sick, then the trial will have failed. They need some people to get sick so they can compare between the placebo group and the group that has the real got the real deal. It's funny because it never occurred to me that was the goal.
That is John Yang, national correspondent for PBS's NewsHour and patient 232 in one of the big vaccine trials. John Yang, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Now, I know that went pretty quickly. Now, he didn't get heavily into the side effects that he was having. So he said the next day he felt achy joints and muscles, and he felt fatigue. This was not the first shot, because the vaccine is 2 shots. You get a first shot and then you got to go back for a second shot. So he was saying the first shot he felt fine, but when he got the second shot, that's when he woke up the next day with achy joints, muscle pain, and fatigue. And and like he said, they told him to try to act like they're having a normal day and not just stay isolated because you don't feel well. So the second shot, he said, really laid him low, and NPR was asking about that. And, he was saying he wanted to feel that because they went and they had separate groups. So people that got placebo, people that got the actual shot. And he must have gotten the actual shot the second time around. So I don't know. I'm not happy with that kind of outcome. I know they are. I'm not. And it certainly don't entice me to want to get the vaccine. But, it's still good for us to hear about these things that occur when you get the shot. Now, I don't plan on getting the shot. I know many of my subscribers don't plan on getting the shot, but there may be people in your family that will get it, or people that on your job, or family, or friends you may have that will get it. So, wow, you can let them know how these folks felt after getting the shot. And I'm still not comfortable with the idea of getting a shot from a vaccine that was just developed within months, when we know this takes years to develop. It's crazy for anybody to run out and get this, but there are going to be people that want it. So, according to what they're saying, the front line people that are working in hospitals and the medical field are the ones they want to give this to first. And they said the citizens are going to be way down the line. So I'm thinking it's going to be somewhat like your flu vaccine, where you can go to different pharmacies to get it, or even your doctor's office. That's how they got the flu shot set up. But I'm not buying the accuracy of this. Now, they keep saying 95%, I think, for the Pfizer, 90% for the Moderna. I'm not believing either one of those percentages. You got a flu vaccine that's been around for many years, and that's only 50%. Um, how is that 50%, but this is 90%? I'm just not buying it. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.